Dylan O'Brien made his name in the business from his role in Teen Wolf. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about him, starting with something you may have in common. He's a big fan of Friends. Okay, it's hard to find someone who isn't a fan of the iconic 90s sitcom, but still, I'm willing to bet this is something that you didn't know about Dylan. The actor has stated before that he had a tough time making friends when he moved to California during middle school, and so he used to watch the series as a way of finding some comfort and entertainment during that tough period of his life. He eventually became a huge fan of the show because of this, and has apparently watched every single episode nearly a dozen times. Yeah, when I said he was a fan of the series, I wasn't kidding. Watching a sitcom that many times should probably qualify you for an award. Maybe Friends is what got him so interested in wanting to pursue a role in the world of television. After a lot of trying, Teen Wolf went on to become his first role.
Just like that. No, you first. A unicorn. What do you think? Right, it's causing me severe mental anguish to say this, but he's right.
It's not that common for actors to get their first big break in their very first role, but that was indeed the case with Dylan. His role in Teen Wolf was the very first job that he landed. In fact, it was his first major audition too. Imagine how he must have felt to not only get a chance to audition for such a series, but even get selected right off the bat. Well, he's an amazing actor, so I'm not surprised he managed to get cast in the series. Teen Wolf definitely helped him to establish himself as a talented young star, and continued to bring him to TV screens, making him a fan favorite across the show's run. That said, if he didn't become an actor, he probably may have had a chance as an athlete. That's because he's a huge fan of baseball. Dylan is a big fan of sports, and he's mentioned in the past that baseball is probably his favorite to play and watch. He grew up in a household where everyone was a devoted Mets fan, and it seems that this dedication to the Mets may have rubbed off on him too. He's currently a huge supporter of the Mets, and has been his whole life. Even despite the team's record, he's been standing by them from the start. Hey, at least this goes to show that he's super loyal and dedicated, which isn't always the case when it comes to sports fans. I guess you could add this to another one of his many talents. Speaking of talent, he's also a talented musician. If not for acting or sports, it seems that the multi-talented Dylan O'Brien may have had a career for himself in the world of music. He's super talented when it comes to music, and has been playing the guitar for a big part of his life. Lately, the actor has been also trying out drumming a bit, but is still learning how to get really good at it. Considering his track record, I don't doubt that he's going to become an expert at it in no time. At one point, he was even in his very own band called Slow Kids at Play. The group is still together, but O'Brien seems to have left it, probably because he can't manage to find the time to jam with them because of all his acting gigs.
Slow Kids at Play. I'm not a part of the band anymore. No, I don't know. I was still part of it last summer. We got back from filming, and I was kind of like, stoked to get home and stoked to like jam. And I opened the Snapchat, and it was like a video of them jamming with another drummer.
I suppose you have to give something up to attain something else. Here's a random fact about him that you definitely didn't know. Dylan bites his nails. Hey, everyone's got a few bad habits, right? Well, in Dylan's case, he just can't seem to stop chomping on his own nails. It's an innocent enough habit, I suppose, if a bit gross. He said that it's the worst thing he does and definitely wants to stop. That said, fans have stated that the habit is completely adorable, and it makes the already likable star even more relatable to everyone. Most people tend to bite their nails when they're super nervous or anxious, and I guess the fans find some solace in the fact that even someone as stunning and seemingly perfect as Dylan does have to deal with being nervous every now and again. In fact, another interesting fact about him is exactly one such moment. It's that he almost didn't get cast in Maze Runner. His role in that movie is probably one of the most significant opportunities of his career, so it's even more of a shocker that he almost didn't get the part. He auditioned for the role as best as he could, but the casting team felt like there was something that was missing. They were on the fence about whether or not he should be given a spot in the movie. One of the big concerns they had was that he felt too MTV. I'm not really sure what they mean by that, but it's good that they eventually came around. Looks like someone in their team had some decent judgment, because they ultimately gave Dylan the role. The success of the Maze Runner series is a pretty good indication of the fact that O'Brien was a great choice for the part. That said, just because he was cast in the film didn't mean everything was rainbows and sunshine. In fact, he got seriously injured while doing a stunt while filming Maze Runner: The Death Cure.
Right now, how's Dylan doing after his little accident?
He's doing well. He did have an accident on set. We look to be going back May 15th. He is one tough cookie. He got his bell rung he got his bell rung. I would imagine many who witnessed it thought that was it.
This happened back in 2016 and shocked many fans at the time. O'Brien got involved in a terrible accident while performing one of his stunts for the Maze Runner film. Reports say that he got struck by a vehicle during the stunt and had to be rushed to the hospital. There it was revealed that he had multiple pretty serious injuries, which needed immediate attention. The full extent of his injuries was never shared, but Dylan did state during an interview that it took him about 6 months to fully recover. He mentioned that he wasn't sure what his future was going to be at the time, which I think definitely feels a little scary. Thankfully, he made a full recovery and continued his acting career. Going back to his acting for a bit, here's another fact not many fans know. Dylan was discovered on YouTube.
Hey guys, Movie Kid here. Developing creative skills. I hate you.
We're gonna be seeing a day in the life of basically gonna see what it's like to be an actor. We are currently waiting for the gas tank. What should we talk about?
Snow glows white on the mountain tonight.
This guy comes over.
This was back when YouTube wasn't just a bunch of companies and sponsored channels. Individual creators could actually get recognized for it and get a shot in the world of TV and movies, and Dylan was among such creators. He had a YouTube channel that managed to get a decent amount of followers. At one point, he got so famous that a Hollywood exec decided to give him a shot in the industry, and well, the rest is history. Speaking of history, here's an interesting fact from his childhood. O'Brien grew up on both coasts. Dylan got to experience something that many people don't get the opportunity to do during their lives. He was born in New Jersey and lived there for about 12 years, but at a certain point, his family decided to move to California instead. This meant that he not only got to enjoy both coasts, but also greatly helped his career because of all the opportunities there are in California for acting. That said, he may have been well off either way, and that's because his parents are also in the business. Both of his parents have worked in the acting industry for years. His father is a talented cinematographer, and his mother is a former actress who at one point ran her own acting school. With a family like that, it seems almost inevitable that Dylan became a talented actor himself. Anyway, which of these 10 things did you already know about Dylan? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.